Howdy guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Ben and we are joined again by the lovely...
Hi, Stephanie だよ.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about another important concept in lighting, and that is going to be the distance of your light from the subject. Now obviously if we have the light closer, it's going to be brighter. If we have the light further away, it's going to be darker. But there are some other things that change depending on the distance. Things like the softness of the light, the fall off, and the way it kind of affects the background. So with all that being said, let's just go ahead and just jump right in and I'll show you what I mean.
Yay!
Okay, so for this example, to keep it simple, we're just going to be using one light. So I have a light here in a softbox, and I've got Stephanie sitting down so that she can relax a little bit, right? Better than standing the whole time, right? Yeah. All right, so what we're going to do is to keep the exposure consistent, I'm going to have Stephanie use the light meter. That way she can tell me what my light should be at, because if you've watched my last video or my last two videos, I've told you that my camera settings are pretty much set. ISO 100, shutter speed 200th of a second, and I'm shooting at f5.6, which means that the only thing I need to change is actually the output of the light. And the light meter will tell me when I'm at 5.6. So let's go ahead and first do a test. I don't have to take a picture. Most of these remotes will have a little test button on there, so I can just press that. So I'm gonna go ahead and ready. Okay, so it tells me my light meter is at 3.2. which means I need to raise up the light a bit. So let's try this. 5, a little more. All right, there we are. We are at 5.6. So now I know my exposure is good. Let's go ahead and take a shot of Stephanie here. All right, cool. So as you can see here, we've got a nice little portrait. It's a little contrasty, but that's okay. All right, so now let's see what happens if we push the light really close and see how it affects the quality of the light. So I'm not gonna change the angle of the light, I'm just gonna change the distance. So let's go ahead and get in really close. I guess as close as we can get before we're actually in the shot. I guess it's pretty good, okay. All right, so let's go ahead and we're gonna have to light meter again because the light has become a lot closer. It's gonna be a lot brighter, obviously. So let's go ahead and do our light meter again here. We are at F11, it's telling me, which means I need to drop this power down quite a bit. Let's try again. Ooh, look at that, 5.6, right on the money. Okay, so now our exposure is good. Let's take another shot. All right, and as you can see, we have quite a different look here. If we compare these two next to each other, we can see they are quite different. The second shot has the background a lot darker. That's because just the light falls off a lot faster. As the light is closer, there's gonna be a lot more or a lot faster fall off of light. Now, I'll show you what I mean by that if we back the light up. So now I'm gonna back the light up about as far as I can get it in this little small studio. We'll go somewhere around here. And we're gonna have to measure again. Right, Stephanie, we're gonna use the, what is that called?
なんだっけね
How about in Japanese? What's it called in Japanese? I just taught you.
忘れた
All right, let's try it. All right, so it shows me I'm F5, 2.5. I go up a lot. Remember? Not yet?
忘れ
Low.
た
Starts with a low.
あ
Starts with a low.
あ、露出系
All right. And how about in English?
タイム
I already said it like 5 times. You don't remember.
わからん
Okay, F4, getting there. Let's go up to about here. 5.6. Now, if you watched my last video, you would know that I would probably be doing this when the model's not here. So that way I'm not really wasting her time or anybody else's. So this is a great way or a great reason to have a light meter, or you can use the gray card method, which I talked about in my last video. That way I'm doing this, I can do the light meter myself. I might put the gray card on a stand, but that way I'm not really wasting the model's time by having me spend time trying to find the correct exposure. So that way when she does pop in, I'm already ready to go. Okay, so our exposure's set, and let's go ahead and take one final portrait or picture. Perfect. And we can see there's quite a big difference between when the light is far away and when the light is closer. When the light's closer, it's a lot more contrasty. We have a lot faster fall off, which means that the light is just going to shadow a lot faster. Where when we look at it with the light further away, it's a lot less contrasty, the light is a lot more even, and so the background becomes a lot brighter. So here are all three shots next to each other in order of distance, with the closest being on the left and the furthest being on the right. Now, of course, this phenomenon has a name, and it's called the inverse square law. And if you really want to understand the math behind it, there's plenty of YouTube videos that explain it really well. But it's not really the math we're interested in, we're more interested in the results. So that's all I'm going to talk about for this video. I want to again thank Stephanie very much for helping me out using the, what is that?
露出系
And in English?
タイム
No, where does the time keep coming from?
いや分からん、もっと戻しててもう一回
Light meter.
あ、ライトミート
Meter.
ライト何
A light meter.
ライトミーター
Meter, yeah, light
Meter.
meter. All right, so if you want to follow
Meter.
Stephanie, Stephanie, where can they follow you?
TikTok と Instagram
Yeah, she makes lots of kind of funny videos, making silly faces and doing, so it's all in Japanese, but I think it's quite enjoyable. So please check her out. And then thank you guys for watching, and I guess we will see you in the next video. All right, guys, peace.
バイバイ